on this episode of Bot versus Con.
Welcome back, BVC fans. As always, I'm Bobby the Bot.
And I'm James the Con, and this is Bot vs. Con, where your voice is heard.
And today we are back, but this time we'll be doing a review on Collector Craft's version of the Quintesson Engineer, and this is from that season 3, episode 18, Dweller in the Depths. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with the figure.
This is Bot versus Con. Make sure to subscribe and consider becoming a member.
All right, so we're back, and here we have the Quintesson Engineer, and I must say this is pretty cool looking. James, what are your thoughts about it, since this is a new character for you?
It is. I don't know much about it. I did watch most of the episode, and it was my first time watching it, and it was pretty cool. And I do think this figure is striking just by looking at it, with the silver on the head and the bottom. Now, that is a difference from Funby Studios, but we'll be discussing the differences in a little bit. We're just going to talk about the figure for now. And I do think it looks good. The main thing I have is where I'm going to put it, just because I don't have like a Quintesson shelf, but I'm sure I could find something. Yeah, this silver really shines. I don't know that much about 3D printing, but whatever filament he used looks great on this. So, and it's very well painted too. Maybe we'll get into the head, because why not? So it does come off, so you could move it. And he has 3 faces. He has the stern look. He has the...
What's happening to me?
There you go. Yeah, that look. I was going to say something else, but we'll keep that for the After Dark show. And then I like this face. I guess this is when he got his face ripped off by, what was it, Bobby?
The transorganic energy monster, or I think it was the energy monster.
Yes, so the TOEM. And I like this head honestly the best. I think this looks really cool and makes him look really evil. But yeah, what do you think about it?
I think it did a good job, and this is one of those characters that you never think you'll ever get. You know, I can't see Hasbro making this figure. I can't see third party possibly, but it's going to probably be so far down the line. I think this is something that you would have to get 3D printed or somebody creating it. I think they did a very good job on it. The colors, as you mentioned, are really great. They're very vibrant. I love some of the articulation, like, you know, again, being able to turn the head around. And now, granted, it does, you know, because it pulls off, it does kind of lift up a little bit, but, you know, it's still, as you can see, I'm still turning it and it's not falling off. So I do like that aspect of it. I like all the various colors. I mean, I can't say that enough. There are a couple of things that I would have liked for maybe the stand to be a little bit longer, so he could sit, you know, a little bit taller on that. That's probably my only gripe. But otherwise, again, the silver looks amazing. That is just shining, and my ring light is actually reflecting off of it. Like, that's how bright it is. It looks really, really good.
It does. And going over articulation, I think it was really cool that these are all bendable. As you could see, Bobby's tentacles are different than mine, because you can do whatever you want with it, pretty much. And they just peg it. They came out, and you just plug them in. Very simple to put together.
Yeah.
He does have a video that you could go watch, and he shows you how to put it together, but I didn't even need that. It was boop, 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 and it was together. What I didn't know that Bobby actually pointed out is this is a ball joint in here. So you could, like, move where the tentacles are. I don't know why. I think that is so cool. And like he could put his almost forward, like he's grabbing somebody. So or typing on a keypad or whatever Quintesson Engineer does. So those are really cool. And same thing with these. These are, you know, posable, and you can move them all around. That's pretty much all the articulation besides the head, which we already showed you. So, but I don't think you would need more from this character. No. So very cool.
And so, just to give you some updates, so these are updates from the Funby Studios. So what he did is these are printed in TPU, and then a wires included inside that gives you the flexible movement. So the Funby Studios version does not have that. And then we talked about the flexible ball joint for movement, and then I guess we can kind of get into
why don't we get into that one? So getting into comparisons, Bobby was just mentioning the differences between this and Funby Studios, and I think this one does look a lot better. But why don't we get into the nitty gritty first? Bobby, go ahead and rattle off everything.
Yeah. So the biggest thing that you'll see here, or what I caught, is that the bottom is definitely different, and it's more toon accurate, and we'll get into that as well. But I also like the silver on this better. That stands out a lot to me.
Yes.
I do like the green color on the Funby Studios version than this bright green, and I'll talk about why in a little bit. But honestly, other than that, I think Collector Crafts did a much better job with the enhancements.
I actually like this green. I think it's goes kind of a little bit better with the orange, but it looks a little more grimy and gross, which I think it's supposed to. It's supposed to look like that for Quintesson. And why don't we look at the toon version now and see how it compares to that. And there he is. And
oh yeah,
the heads are quite a bit different.
Yeah, the eyes as well. Like on here, like the eyes on the toon look like they're more shaped like glasses. Like
I was gonna say goggles.
Oh, yeah. Goggles, yeah. And here it has like this teardrop that, you know. But
honestly, these look like Easter Island heads.
Yeah, I can see that. I didn't even think.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what these remind me of.
Yes, but everything else, I mean, you know, he's missing the two vents on the side here, but you know, otherwise, I think it's really pretty accurate.
Yeah. Maybe these could have been maybe just a little bit longer.
Well, I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Just to look more like legs, because they really do look like legs in that.
Yeah.
But honestly, I like this better.
Yeah.
It looks more creepy. I don't know. But I could see why you would want the darker green, just because it would be more toon accurate to that.
Yeah.
But again, I'm glad we have this brighter orange here than what it has. I don't know. I like these colors, but I would understand why, if you're going for toon accuracy, maybe you'd want the darker green. But I think this looks good by itself.
And now this is the masterpiece sized figure. And so anything else about the toon comparison?
I don't think so. I think we're getting ready to go show off all your Quintessons with this.
Yeah, so I figured if we're going to talk about them, then let's talk about the toys that we have. This is actually the Inquisitor, and you can see why I also like the darker green, because it does go with this more. Now, they definitely, it looks a lot shorter if we put them kind of base to base, but that's because these are on such tall stands. If you know, I'm trying to arms all over the place. If you actually hold them up, you know, kind of next to each other, they're about the same size.
Yeah, so, the bodies definitely aren't, and he didn't look as big as well in the toon, and maybe it was the shots or whatever. So I think that's actually a very good scale, especially if you could just increase that
this
blast effect or whatever it's called.
And here is the other Inquisitor.
Are they different?
Yes, the faces.
Oh, the faces are different, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, you can see the difference here, and the bases are, you know, the egg part right here is very similar to the toon. So I'm glad he made the update here. You can see kind of the yellow circles. And then finally, we have the Quintesson Judge, and you know, Dr. Egg himself, and you know, this is what it is. um, but again, it has the bigger stand. But in terms of the bodies themselves, they're pretty much the same size.
Yeah, and I don't think these two were in the same episode.
I don't believe so either.
So
I think the Inquisitors.
Who knows how big they're supposed to be to each other?
Yeah.
So
there you have it. So
well, I guess we could do final thoughts. What do you think about the Quintesson engineer?
As somebody who, as a kid, I don't want to say that episode scared me, but it was definitely like one of the darker episodes of the toon. I never thought we would get this, so it's kind of cool to actually have it in hand and to mess with it, and I like it. So I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this like an 8, and I give it an 8. There's definitely some things that could have been done better, but seeing that he upgraded a previous version or existing version, I think this looks so much better with the upgrades and the changes on it, that it gets a higher grade for me. So if the stand was probably taller, it'd probably be more of a 9 for me. But that's really my only gripe about this.
Yeah. For me, I can't really grade it just because it's so outside of my wheelhouse of what I normally would collect.
Oh, definitely.
So I don't feel comfortable doing that, because does it even have a grade? Because it doesn't fit with a lot of my shelves. But I will say I like it. The improvements he did, especially with the ball joints, impressed me. I don't know why. That really impressed me. And I'm like, wow, that's so cool. That's why I have them posed with the arms forward.
Yeah.
I really like that. 3D printed, we already know it's going to be good from what he does. I love that this is kind of see-through a little bit. If you put it up, you can actually see it in person. So I like it. If you like this figure, I would go ahead and get it. We'll put a link in the description where you can go ahead and pick it up. Just so you know, if you want a Legends, it's $27.99. Voyager is $44.99, and MP is $74.99. So if this is a figure to go with your other Quintessons like Bobby showed, I think it's well worth your money. Or if you just want a Cthulhu-looking robot monster, because that's probably what he's going to be in my collection.
I'm not going to use that face. Yeah. I'm just going to go back to this one. Yeah.
There we go.
Or that one.
Let us know what you think down below, and we'll see you in the next review.
Yeah. As always, to all debates are one. See you all next time. Bye.